Imagine waking up every single day in a world designed for people who can walk, run, and use their hands. What if you didn't have arms or legs? What if every door you tried to open, every chair you attempted to sit in, was just another reminder of what you didn't have? For many, that's a reality. But what if I told you that not having arms or legs doesn't mean you're powerless? It means you've got something that others may not. Creativity, adaptability, and a resourcefulness that can break through barriers. Now, I want to challenge you. In the next few minutes, you'll hear a story that will change the way you think about your own limitations. It'll make you question how you view obstacles in your life. And it'll show you how, even in the most difficult situations, creativity can be the key to finding solutions and seizing opportunities. So stay with me, because by the end of this talk, you'll see that no matter what life throws at you, whether you have arms and legs or not, you have the ability to overcome, to create, and to live fully. When faced with overwhelming challenges, especially those that seem to strip away basic abilities, adaptability becomes a crucial skill. It's easy to assume that without certain resources or capabilities, a person is limited or worse, powerless. But real strength lies not in what you have, but in how you adapt to what you don't have. Creativity at its core is the ability to find solutions in unexpected places, and when physical limitations are present, the need for this skill grows exponentially. Take a moment to think about the daily routines we all take for granted: waking up, getting dressed, brushing our teeth, even moving from one room to another. These simple tasks, which require very little thought or effort for most of us, become monumental challenges for those with physical disabilities. But here's the secret: when you don't have the conventional tools at your disposal, you develop the ability to think outside the box. You start looking at problems differently, searching for alternative solutions, and most importantly, you learn to rely on your creativity. This adaptability doesn't happen overnight. It requires resilience and the willingness to fail and try again. A person without arms or legs, for example, might face difficulties as they try to navigate the world. But they don't simply accept the limitations of their situation, they innovate. They might find ways to use their environment, their voice, or even their mind to overcome obstacles. What others might see as a barrier becomes just another challenge to reframe and conquer. In this way, limitation breeds innovation and hardship fuels creative thinking. In fact, it's often through our greatest struggles that our most powerful ideas are born. When you're faced with a situation where the normal rules don't apply, you are forced to break free from conventional thinking. Instead of reaching for the same solutions that have always worked in the past, you are pushed to think creatively, to explore new ways of achieving your goals. This kind of thinking isn't just reserved for those facing extreme challenges. It's something that all of us can tap into, no matter what limitations we face in our lives. Adapting to adversity doesn't mean resigning yourself to a life of hardship. It means embracing the opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to discover new strengths. It's about turning the impossible into the possible and realizing that creativity isn't just a luxury for artists or innovators. It's an essential tool for anyone navigating life's obstacles. And the beauty of this creativity is that it's not limited to any specific domain. It applies to every aspect of life, whether you're trying to solve a personal problem, a work-related issue, or something more profound. In the face of adversity, creativity doesn't just help you survive, it helps you thrive. It helps you see possibilities when others only see limitations. And most importantly, it helps you understand that no matter how hard life gets, you always have the ability to adapt and find your way. Creativity doesn't require perfection. It simply requires the courage to try, to fail, and to keep going. It's this relentless drive to overcome that leads to success, not just in the world of innovation, but in everyday life. So when the road ahead seems impassable, remember that adaptability and creativity are your most powerful allies. They'll help you find a way forward no matter what. When we talk about overcoming limitations, it's important to remember that these limitations don't define who we are or what we can achieve. In fact, limitations can be the very thing that sparks creativity and innovation. Far too often, society tells us that our worth is tied to our abilities or the things we can do physically. But the truth is, what we can accomplish doesn't depend on having perfect circumstances or ideal conditions. It depends on our mindset and how we approach the challenges that come our way. For someone who might not have arms or legs, their physical limitations may seem overwhelming at first. But these challenges don't limit their potential. Rather, they force them to approach life from a different perspective. In a world built for those with full mobility, it's easy to see why one might feel restricted by the absence of limbs. But the beauty of human nature lies in the ability to adapt and find alternative ways of doing things. Every limitation presents an opportunity to discover new paths, new techniques, new methods of reaching the same goals. What one person might consider a barrier, someone else might see as a challenge waiting to be overcome in a more creative way. This shift in thinking, seeing limitations not as walls but as opportunities, empowers individuals to break free from the traditional ways of doing things. For example, a person without arms may not be able to use their hands in the conventional sense, but they might develop the ability to use their feet, mouth, or other tools to accomplish tasks. They may not be able to interact with the world the same way everyone else does, but they find ways to adapt to it using the resources they have at hand. Rather than seeing a lack of limbs as something that limits them, they turn it into a challenge that sparks ingenuity. What we fail to realize sometimes is that all of us have limitations of some kind, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or financial. Life isn't always going to hand us the perfect set of circumstances. And when we face those limitations, we often have two choices. We can either let them hold us back, or we can find ways to work around them. The people who choose to be resourceful, who refuse to accept limitations as reasons to give up, are the ones who discover that their greatest strengths lie in their ability to adapt. Creativity thrives when we're forced to think differently. The absence of conventional options forces us to consider alternatives that we might never have imagined otherwise. For someone with physical limitations, every day might involve a new creative challenge, from figuring out how to use tools to making basic decisions about how to navigate through the world. But in the process, they become experts in finding solutions to problems that others may never have had to face. These problem-solving skills can be applied to all areas of life, from career choices to personal relationships. In the end, overcoming limitation is about expanding what we believe is possible. It's about recognizing that our potential isn't limited by what we don't have, but by our ability to think outside the box and find new ways to achieve our goals. Life may present challenges, but it's how we rise to meet them that defines us. And when we stop focusing on what's missing and start embracing what we have, we open ourselves up to endless possibilities. Turning obstacles into opportunities is one of the most powerful tools anyone can wield in life. When faced with difficulties, it's easy to become overwhelmed or discouraged, thinking that the world is closing in around us. The weight of adversity can seem unbearable at times, but this is where the ability to reframe challenges as opportunities becomes essential. Obstacles, by their very nature, disrupt the status quo. They force us to stop and rethink our approach, to question what we've always known, and to explore new ways of moving forward. It's through these moments of disruption that we often find the most innovative and resourceful solutions. For someone without arms or legs, navigating the world may seem like an insurmountable challenge. The everyday tasks that others accomplish without a second thought, like reaching for an object on a shelf or walking across a room, become significant hurdles. However, these very challenges push individuals to come up with creative alternatives. For instance, a person without limbs may find innovative ways to use their environment to their advantage, whether it's adapting tools to their needs or employing new methods of communication. What others might see as a limitation, they see as a puzzle that can be solved with determination and creativity. The beauty of this mindset is that it doesn't just apply to extreme situations. It's something that anyone can apply to their own life, regardless of the scale of the problem they're facing. When we encounter a roadblock, we often react with frustration, asking ourselves why things aren't going as planned. But if we shift our perspective and ask, how can I turn this situation into an opportunity? The answer becomes far more empowering. It encourages us to think outside the box and forces us to look for alternatives we may not have considered before. Every time we face an obstacle, we're given a chance to learn and grow. These challenges can teach us more than we might realize, providing us with the tools and insights necessary to tackle future problems. In the case of someone living without limbs, each obstacle teaches them resourcefulness, patience, and resilience. These lessons are not only valuable for overcoming physical challenges, but they are applicable to life as a whole. When we approach problems with the mindset of turning them into opportunities, we develop the skills and mindset needed to thrive, even when circumstances are far from ideal. This reframing of obstacles doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties that come with them. It's not about pretending that life is easy or that challenges don't matter. Rather, it's about shifting our approach to adversity. When we stop seeing problems as insurmountable barriers and start viewing them as opportunities to learn, adapt, and create, we unlock a new level of possibility. By embracing challenges as stepping stones, we open ourselves up to growth, innovation, and personal transformation. In the end, the obstacles we face are not the end of the road, they are simply part of the journey. Each difficulty provides a chance to reinvent ourselves and discover new ways of doing things. Instead of allowing obstacles to define us, we can use them to redefine our potential, making the impossible possible and turning each setback into a stepping stone toward greater achievement. The key to turning obstacles into opportunities lies in our ability to reframe the situation, to find the silver lining in even the darkest clouds, and to embrace the creative process that adversity demands. A positive mindset is often the difference between merely surviving and truly thriving, especially when facing difficult situations. It's easy to become discouraged when life presents obstacles, but the way we choose to approach those challenges can have a profound impact on how we overcome them. Having a positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties or pretending everything is fine when it's not. Rather, it's about maintaining hope and belief in your ability to navigate through tough times, even when the odds seem stacked against you. It's about choosing to focus on what you can control and taking proactive steps to overcome the hurdles in front of you. For someone without arms or legs, maintaining a positive mindset becomes essential. The world may seem designed for those with full physical capabilities, and the absence of arms and legs might feel like a huge disadvantage. But here's the thing. A positive mindset doesn't allow these perceived disadvantages to dictate one's fate. Instead, it transforms the way one perceives the world. Instead of seeing obstacles, it focuses on potential. Instead of feeling helpless, it seeks creative solutions. A positive mindset empowers individuals to look beyond their current circumstances and see a path forward, no matter how challenging that path might be. When faced with extreme adversity, it can be tempting to focus only on what's going wrong, on what's missing, or on the difficulty of the situation. But the power of a positive mindset lies in its ability to shift this focus. Rather than dwelling on the negative aspects, it encourages individuals to look for opportunities within the struggle. It allows them to reframe their situation and see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. This shift in thinking is not just a tool for coping, but a way to fuel resilience and perseverance. The positive mindset is not just about being optimistic for optimism's sake, it's about taking active steps to cultivate resilience. A person with a positive outlook doesn't wait for circumstances to improve. They take charge of their situation and find ways to make it work. Whether it's through creativity, innovation, or simply refusing to give up, they use their mindset as a tool to create progress in the face of adversity. This positive approach to life becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more one focuses on what's possible, the more one will discover ways to make the impossible a reality. What many people don't realize is that a positive mindset is contagious. When someone facing great challenges maintains an attitude of hope and resilience, they not only uplift themselves, but they also inspire those around them. This mindset has a ripple effect that can influence family, friends, co-workers, and even strangers, encouraging them to find their own inner strength. The act of choosing positivity becomes a powerful example, showing others that no matter what life throws at you, you always have the power to choose your response and to turn your situation into an opportunity for growth. At its core, a positive mindset is about empowerment. It's about recognizing that while you may not always have control over your circumstances, you always have control over how you respond to them. And in that response lies the key to overcoming even the most daunting challenges. By cultivating hope, resilience, and a belief in your ability to adapt and thrive, you unlock the potential to rise above adversity and make the most of every situation, no matter how difficult it may seem. Resourcefulness is one of the most important qualities a person can develop when navigating life's challenges. It's the ability to make the most of what you have, even when what you have may seem inadequate at first. In the face of adversity, it's easy to focus on the things you lack, whether it's resources, support, or even physical ability. But true resourcefulness lies in the ability to turn what you have into exactly what you need to move forward. It's about thinking creatively, staying flexible, and using ingenuity to overcome obstacles. For someone without arms or legs, resourcefulness becomes not just a skill, but a necessity. The world is filled with tools and solutions designed for those who have the full use of their bodies, and for someone without limbs, that can initially seem like a disadvantage. But what they soon discover is that resourcefulness can bridge the gap between what they lack and what they need. It could be something as simple as learning to use their feet or mouth to perform tasks that others take for granted, or inventing new ways to interact with the world using adaptive tools and technologies. It's not about waiting for the world to change, but about changing your approach to meet the world on your own terms. Resourcefulness doesn't require grand inventions or extraordinary circumstances. It's about seeing potential where others see limitation. It's about taking the tools you already have, whether they are physical, mental, or emotional, and using them to find solutions. Someone who might not have arms or legs doesn't just accept their condition, they innovate. They adapt their environment, their routines, and their strategies to work with what they have. The same principle can be applied to anyone facing challenges in life. Whether it's finding creative ways to solve a work problem, navigating a difficult relationship, or handling financial stress, resourcefulness is the key to turning difficulties into opportunities for growth. In many ways, being resourceful is about breaking free from the constraints of conventional thinking. When you're forced to look beyond traditional solutions and create new ones, you develop a mindset that can be applied to nearly every area of life. Resourcefulness isn't just about finding clever fixes, it's about expanding your thinking and reimagining what's possible. It teaches you to be adaptable, to think on your feet, and to look for unconventional answers. These skills can be invaluable not just in extreme situations, but in day-to-day life, where the unexpected is always around the corner. One of the most powerful aspects of resourcefulness is its ability to build resilience. When faced with obstacles, resourceful individuals don't just give up when things get tough. They pivot, they innovate, and they keep moving forward. This kind of flexibility enables them to bounce back from failure and to learn from each challenge they face. By continually adapting, they strengthen their capacity to overcome future difficulties, making them more resilient with each experience. Resourcefulness teaches you that no matter how challenging the situation, you always have the ability to find a way through it. Ultimately, resourcefulness is about empowerment. It's the recognition that while you may not always have control over the world around you, you always have control over how you respond to it. By choosing to approach problems with creativity and adaptability, you gain the confidence to face any challenge head-on, knowing that you can always find a solution no matter how big or small the problem may be. In this way, resourcefulness becomes not just a skill, but a mindset that empowers you to take charge of your life, no matter what obstacles stand in your way. Inspiring others to find their own creative path is one of the most rewarding aspects of overcoming challenges. When we rise above adversity and embrace creative solutions, we don't just change our own lives, we also set an example for those around us. Every time someone witnesses another person navigating obstacles with resilience, creativity, and determination, it encourages them to look within themselves and find their own strength. Inspiration has the power to ignite a spark in others, helping them to see that they too can rise above their difficulties and think outside the box. For someone without arms or legs, the process of facing each day presents countless challenges. But as they find creative ways to adapt to the world, they unintentionally become beacons of hope for others. Their journey is a testament to the power of the human spirit and the ability to overcome even the most profound obstacles. Through their creativity, they show others that limitations are not permanent roadblocks, but temporary hurdles that can be navigated with determination and ingenuity. The strength they display in their daily lives can inspire others to approach their own challenges with a renewed perspective, motivating them to explore their own creative solutions. Inspiring others doesn't always require grand gestures or public demonstrations. Sometimes it's quiet, everyday acts of resilience and creativity that leave the greatest impact. When someone without limbs innovates new ways to interact with the world, whether it's developing adaptive tools or learning to use their body in unexpected ways, they are sending a message. If I can do this, so can you. This message resonates far beyond the person facing physical challenges. It speaks to anyone who feels trapped by their own limitations. It shows that no matter how difficult the journey may seem, there is always room for creative solutions and growth. What makes this kind of inspiration so powerful is that it comes from a place of authenticity. People are drawn to others who embrace their challenges with grace and perseverance because they can relate to them on a deeper level. Everyone faces struggles in some form, whether it's health issues, financial stress, or personal difficulties, and seeing someone else tackle their challenges creatively provides the reassurance that overcoming adversity is possible. It instills a sense of hope that encourages others to believe in their own capacity to overcome their struggles. This kind of inspiration has a ripple effect. When one person is inspired to find their own creative path, they in turn can inspire others. The lessons learned through overcoming obstacles are not just for personal growth, they are gifts that can be shared with others. The creative approaches to life's challenges that someone without limbs might adopt can become valuable lessons for others, empowering them to think more resourcefully and innovatively in their own lives. The impact of one person's creative journey can therefore extend far beyond their own experience, creating a cycle of inspiration that spreads through communities and even entire societies. Ultimately, inspiring others to find their creative path is about showing them that they are capable of so much more than they might initially believe. It's about breaking down the barriers that limit their thinking and encouraging them to explore new possibilities. By leading with creativity, resilience, and optimism, individuals not only conquer their own challenges, but also help others to recognize their potential and the power of creative problem solving. When one person rises above their limitations, they open the door for others to do the same, creating a legacy of inspiration that transcends individual struggles and transforms lives.